Test. Everybody good?
Good morning, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Mayor Dan Rizzo, the City of Revere, and I'd like to welcome all of you on this very, very exciting occasion. We are announcing the partnership that has been formed now between Suffolk Downs and Mohegan Sun. Back on November 5th, Revere voters voted yes to a resort-style casino at Suffolk Downs. By almost a margin of 2-1, Revere voters went to the polls and said yes to 4,000 jobs. They said yes to transportation improvements in the tens of millions, and they said yes to local economic development opportunities. We feel here in the City of Revere that we have a very, very viable project and a terrific team that is going to create a first-class gaming facility that we here in Revere, those of us across the region here and throughout the state of Massachusetts will all be proud of. Before we go any further, I'd like to just take a few moments for some brief introductions. Starting on my far right, City Councilor Arthur Guanasso, City Councilor Bob Hass, Majority Partner Suffolk Downs Richard Fields, Chief Operating Officer of Suffolk Downs, Chip Tuttle, CEO of Mohegan Sun, Mitch Edis, City Councilor Ira Novoselsky, City Council President, my apologies, City Councilor Richard Penta, and City Councilor Jessica Giannino. As I said before, the City of Revere voted by almost 2-1 to create a resort-style gaming facility at Suffolk Downs. We feel as though that given the vote and given the amount of land that the City of Revere has, 51 acres, is more than enough to create the type of facility that I know we had all anticipated. So without any further ado, I would now like to call up the majority partner of Suffolk Downs, Richard Fields. Richard?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mayor Rizzo. Thank you very much. Members of the Revere City Council, guests. A few months ago, Mayor Rizzo, Chip Tuttle, and I stood outside of this building and we announced the signing of a historic agreement, host agreement, between the City of Revere and Suffolk Downs. And I guess the understatement of the year would be that a lot has happened since then. And I believe that things happen for a reason. And in this case, clearly, it happened for the better. Because over the last couple of months, we clearly have become stronger. But you know, change is not easy. And I would not be totally honest if I did not say that this has been a stressful, difficult time for a lot of people. It's been very stressful for the workers at Suffolk Downs because of the uncertainty of the future of the track after 78 years. And it has really been stressful on the whole community. But I'll tell you what I discovered during this period of time. I discovered something that the people of Revere knew all along. What I discovered was how blessed the city is to have a mayor who is a really true leader and someone who had the courage to stand by his original convictions that this project at Suffolk Downs was the absolute right project for his city, because what it will do, it will become transformative. And the mayor, along with his city council and the strong support from Representative Kathy Ann Reinstein, you know what they've done? They've managed to bring this project back to the city of Revere, where it really, really belongs. And over the next several years, what the project at Suffolk Downs, in conjunction with Mohegan Sun, is really going to do is it's going to be transformative for the city of Revere, as well as all of the surrounding communities. So today is actually the beginning of a new story. And I want to tell you that we are proud at Suffolk Downs to be part of this new story. And we've been part of the community of Revere for 78 years. There has been a strong relationship and partnership between Suffolk Downs and the city of Revere for 78 years. And just as a little sidebar, at least 20% of the workforce at Suffolk Downs lives in the city of Revere. Now, in a moment, I'm going to introduce my old good friend, Mitchell Ettis, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Mohegan Sun Gaming. But before that, I want to say something. We are really fortunate to have Mitchell and his entire team working here at Suffolk Downs in Revere and creating the amazing magic that they do at their projects. Mitchell and his team know how to create a terrific experience for the guests and all that magic that is, A, necessary for a successful project, but really belongs in a world-class facility and a world-class region like this. Anyhow, it is my real pleasure to introduce Chief Executive Officer of Mohegan Sun Gaming, Mitchell Ettis. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard, and Mayor Rizzo, council members. It's a pleasure to be here today. And you know, I've got a really fun job. And throughout the course of my employment at Mohegan Sun, I've had a chance to do a lot of exciting things. But I don't think anything that I've done previously or been part of previously can touch the excitement that we feel at Mohegan for being able to be part of this amazing project here in Revere. What you see here is a team. This is a team that's going to work together to bring something incredible, something very, very special that this whole city can be very, very proud of. The Mohegan Sun here is not only going to be a regional gathering place, but it is going to be a national and international tourist destination. Richard said it, we make special places. It doesn't matter where they are. We transformed resorts in Atlantic City to make it a very, very special destination that is doing very well in a tough place. In Wilkes-Barre, we redefined in Pennsylvania. We were the first casino to open under the gaming law there. We redefined the industry there, and we've created another great destination facility. Mohegan Sun in Connecticut is unparalleled. What you feel when you enter these places is an amazing feeling that is reflective of the community, of where it is, something that's built from the ground up, that's granular, that's very, very unique and special to where it is, and we are going to build that here. Now, can I tell you exactly what it's going to be? No. We've only been doing it for 4 or 5 days. Even at 24 hours a day, that's difficult. But we have the vision. We have the vision of the ocean. We have the vision of the millions of people that come through the greater Boston region. We have the vision of the millions of people that live in this area. We have the vision of creating something that is a magnet that will bring all of those different markets into this place. That is something that will be where 1 + 1 equals way more than 2. When you take the people who come to Boston area for the tourism that's here, we're going to work with the tourism community to make those things special. I wish I could convey to you what this would be like. If you've been to Mohegan Sun in Connecticut, you get the feeling, because you're going to walk in here and you're going to feel that special feeling. You're going to feel that spirit of hospitality. You're going to feel that excitement. You're going to feel that thrill. and you're going to redefine the way people in this region entertain themselves. We're very proud of what we do in operating and building our facilities, but really, the folks that I work for is an Indian tribe, and what they're really more concerned about is the way they are and the way they're perceived as a people. They have a saying that says, the Mohegan tribe has been good neighbors in New England for over 400 years. They've continued that in every single place we've went. And I want to assure you that what's important to us is the Mohegan way, which is working with the community, which is being part of the community, which is living up to the agreements that have been made previously for this project, which is reaching out and actually taking those things and making them better. We're great neighbors. We're glad to be here. This is going to be a very special place, and this is a very special day for Revere. Chip.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Richard, and Mitchell. One of the reasons that we wanted everybody to come today was because we made our announcement last week on Wednesday, right before the holiday, and we didn't give people a chance, due to the holiday, necessarily to ask any questions. So we wanted to be sure that we did that today. So with that, I'll take any questions and that anybody has, and we can refer them to Mitchell, to Richard, to the mayor, however we want to do this. So why don't we open up to questions now? Yes, Mark.
I think I'd like to answer that. Sure. Right? Chip, do you mind? Mark, anybody that has followed this odyssey over the last several years knows that I have a very strong commitment, Chip has a very strong commitment, and all my partners, I've been very fortunate, share that commitment to continue the legacy at Suffolk Downs. There is a reality, and the reality is that in the United States, racetracks, for whatever reason, cannot really survive if they are not part of an enhanced gaming project. And I think, I'm not sure about this as a fact, but I believe that there are probably, we're one of just 2 racetracks on the East Coast that are not part of a facility that is supporting racing through gaming. Therefore, the future of the racetrack really depends upon the project receiving the blessing from the Gaming Commission. You want to add anything to that, Chip?
No, I think that was very well said. I mean, technically, Mark, technically, if Mohegan Sun will be the applicant. In our prior project, the way we looked at it was an integrated gaming and racing resort. Due to the results of the ballot questions on November 5th, we're no longer able to do that. So we have to have separation of the gaming establishment, the gaming facility, and the racing facility. So our agreement with Mohegan Sun reflects that necessary separation, but that doesn't change our commitment to racing, which has been part of our proposal from the very outset.
Is there money coming from the casino that will go to help racing? How does this help racing?
So if Mohegan Sun is successful in earning a license here on our property, then Suffolk Downs, as the landlord and as the property owner, will have additional resources that it will be able to contribute to racing. I think it's if there's no direct connection in that way, but if the ownership is successful, and if we're successful with if Mohegan Sun is successful with gaming development on the property, it certainly gives us a lot more tools to work with, so that we have the ability to preserve and enhance racing. We'd be able to take that money and do whatever we want with it. If what we want to do with it is preserve and enhance racing, then we have the ability to do that. Correct. Yeah. Janet? I don't think so, Janet. In fact, if you look up and down the East Coast, we compete for horses with all the different racing venues on the East Coast. And in Florida, there is, the purses are subsidized from expanded gaming in that state. And in West Virginia, that's the case. And in Maryland, that's the case. And in New York, that's the case. And in Maine, that's the case for harness racing in Maine. So horses literally get on the vans with their owners and trainers, leaving Florida every spring, and they drive north, and they can go left or right all the way up 95, or they can come here where we don't have that advantage. So we've been working very hard over the last several years to have that advantage. As I said earlier, our proposal has to be different now. Before we had an integrated gaming and racing resort. Now we clearly have to have some separation. Though they can't be the same, but that doesn't mean that we as the ownership and the team at Suffolk Downs are restricted from invested in racing. It's something we hope to do. No more so than the Mohegan Sun Resort will be connected to Revere Beach, that it will be connected to other attractions. They cannot be physically connected or formally connected, but yes, the racetrack will be a neighbor of the Mohegan Sun project in Revere. We're not going to put up the Berlin Wall between the two of them. Okay, right. I mean, if you want to walk the half mile from the front door of the clubhouse to the resort at Mohegan Sun, we're not going to restrict you from doing that. And if you want to do the same thing from the resort at Mohegan Sun to the racetrack, we would clearly welcome you. Yeah, we're a little, as Mitchell said, we're a little early in the process. We hope in the next couple of weeks we'll be able to come back and unveil plans, and that Mitchell and his team will lead that effort. So, yeah, I'm going to go to the next question. We've been very consistent over the last 6 years when we've talked about the racetrack that the future of racing is very much in doubt without gaming development on the property. It's particularly in doubt if a license were to be awarded to another development in this region. It'd be very, very hard to foresee any way that racing would be able to continue with those thousands of jobs, okay, the 78-year legacy as a sporting landmark in this community. We've always wanted to preserve that, and the best way for us to preserve that is if there's gaming development on the property. We have never said that. We have said it's going to be really hard, but we keep fighting and trying to preserve racing, and we're going to keep doing that. Yes. It's very, very early to talk about that. I mean, one of the advantages of the property is that there are 2 Blue Line stops, the Suffolk Downs stop on the Boston side, the Beachmont stop, which is very proximate to the acreage in Revere that Mohegan Sun is going to be developing on. We're going to have very formal transportation programs as part of our RFA 2 submittal to the Gaming Commission by the end of the month, and we'll address all that there. The facilities have to be separate. Yes. Sure, I'm gonna refer that to both Richard and Mitchell, but I would say they both said that we feel we've gotten stronger through this process, and Mohegan Sun is the A-class brand, gaming brand in New England. So, I mean, we are very, very fortunate to be able to partner with Mohegan Sun, and I'll let Richard and Mitchell expand.
So, I mean, that's a very good question. Let me just say something, not to denigrate the old project. The old project was terrific. But that doesn't mean that the new proposed project can't be better. And in this case, it's better, it's stronger. I've known Mitchell for a long time, and everybody in this room knows that the Mohegan brand, what it stands for in this region. And I'm telling you that at the end of the day, we had a lot of choices. Believe it or not, after the election, we had a lot of choices. There were several opportunities of several companies that we could have chosen. We made a conscious decision that the best partnership, the best company to be here for the new revised project, Ed Revere at Suffolk Downs, was Mitchell and Mohegan. And I'd like Mitchell to say a few words about it, if you don't mind.
I'm not going to, say anything bad about any other casino brands, but I can tell you what we bring to this table and why we think we're by far the best choice for anybody in the Commonwealth. One is we are New England-based. We're the home team. We've been marketing and catering to people in New England and the Boston area for 16 years. We know all about them. We know what drives them. We know what kind of things they like. We also have a history of bringing, as I said before, building things from the ground up that make sense for a place. We're not going to import Las Vegas or anything here. We're going to build something that's right for Revere. We have a database of, I don't know, maybe 3 million people now, already populated. And we are, by virtue of our partnership agreement with our financial partner, Brigade, we are required to market to that database to people within a certain mile radius of this facility. So what you get from that is you get a already established group of customers in your database that can get the property up and running quicker than it could. And in due respect to anything that Caesars might have had in their database, I sincerely doubt they have as many people as we have in this particular region. We are homegrown, we create spectacular projects, and I think our Players Club program is probably more robust because our new program, Momentum, the points would be transferable between properties. You would also be able to, we're trying to expand this program into the community to drive the Players Club, which is now named Momentum, out into the community. Very soon, we'll be having people going out in, signing people up, signing local merchants up, regional merchants up to be part of our Players Club program where people can go use their Players Club points at these, at various stores. So, we're the preeminent game brand in New England. We've been here for 16 years. We have an up-and-running database. We build spectacular places. I mean, seems to me like, and we're the home team. It's kind of a slam dunk or a layup. So we're in the WNBA.
Yeah. So, what? I think.
Were there any discussions before Suffolk signed up with Caesars between Suffolk Downs and Mohegan?
No.
I don't think
No. I think that we were in discussions with, they had already identified Palmer before the legislation even passed. Peter? No, we have a valid host community agreement in Revere. We have a valid land use question in Revere, and we're looking forward to moving ahead and getting our next stage submittal to the Gaming Commission. No, I mean, we have as I said, Peter, we have a valid host community agreement. That host community agreement anticipated that there would be gaming development on the Revere portion of our property. That host community agreement anticipated clearly that we would have a different partner because that was part of that as well. So we have a valid agreement and we have a valid land use referendum by an overwhelming margin, as Mr. Mayor Rizzo said. Revere said yes. Revere is very excited about this development opportunity on the Revere portion of the property. So we're looking forward to moving forward. So our host community agreement with Boston went away as a result of the vote in East Boston. Okay, we have formally asked the City of Boston to begin surrounding community discussions with us, as Boston would now be a surrounding community for the project in Revere. We're still very much committed to the regional transportation fixes that were part of that agreement. In fact, a lot of those are part of the Revere agreement as well. So we're committed to making sure that with Mitch and his team from Mohegan Sun, that we can get people here conveniently. Nobody wants to invest $1 billion, near $1 billion, over $1 billion in a world-class gaming destination, make it difficult for people to get to. So transportation and infrastructure are a big part of our program. We've asked the City of Boston to begin surrounding community discussions, and we're waiting to hear back. Oh, I mean, we have been in discussions with the City of Chelsea, the City of, the Town of Winthrop. We've been engaged with the Mayor of Lynn, and similarly, we would expect, we would expect that we would have a surrounding community agreement with Boston. We want to have a surrounding community agreement with Boston. Our neighbors in East Boston have been there, and they've been our neighbors for 78 years. That doesn't change that we want to be good neighbors. And Mohegan Sun has a great history, as you heard from Mitch, of being good neighbors in the community. We share that commitment and want to make sure that if we're successful, that the entire region benefits from the development. We do not. I mean, we'd like to have surrounding community agreements done before December 31st, but they're not part of the that deadline. There's no deadline, and you know, unless agreements aren't reached, and then they can petition the Gaming Commission to arbitrate. We have heard from Everett. We haven't had any discussions with Everett. We've heard from multiple municipalities. We have designated Boston, Chelsea, and Winthrop as surrounding communities. Yeah, okay, yeah. We feel very, very good about our partnership here. We feel good about the yes vote in Revere. We know that we can deliver a project to the Gaming Commission by December 31st that meets or exceeds all its expectations. The Gaming Commission has been very clear that host communities have the ability to move a project forward. Surrounding communities don't have the ability to stop a project. We want to have positive relations with all our surrounding communities. I think, so this will be the last one. I'm sorry. We feel that we have a valid host community agreement and we have a valid vote. And we're looking forward to working with the Commission over the next several weeks. If they need additional information on that, we're happy to provide it. So thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you, I'm sure, on the way out the door. Thanks for joining us.